Thomas Yellowtail was a medicine man and Sundance chief of the Crow tribe for over 30 years prior to his death. Thomas Yellowtail's adult life was dedicated to the adherence to and preservation of the Sundance religion. Early reservation life. Thomas Yellowtail was born just south of Lodge Grass, Montana, on the Crow Indian Reservation. His father's name was Hawk with the yellowtail feathers. It was the practice at the time for the U.S. government to assign surnames to the Indians as a means of assimilating them into the white culture and to ease record-keeping. Thus, the child of Hawk with the yellowtail feathers and his wife was given the last name Yellowtail. In Yellowtail's younger days, the old, great warriors who participated in the Plains Wars and had lived the traditional nomadic life of the people were still living, although they had been forced onto the reservations. Yellowtail often recalled seeing the old warriors as they sat around the campfires and performed sacred ceremonies. Spiritual influences. The Lodge Grass Valley was called the Valley of the Chiefs because of all the great war chiefs who lived there in Yellowtail's early years. When he was only 6 years old, Yellowtail received a great honor when one of the Crow Nation's most famous chiefs, Medicine Crow, gave Yellowtail his Indian name, Medicine Rock Chief. Receiving a name from such a famous chief was all the more significant as the name came from Chief Medicine Crow's personal spiritual medicine. Yellowtail's youth was shaped by these elders who had lived the traditional nomadic life. These old-timers, as Yellowtail called them, taught him to know and to love the traditional spirituality of his ancestors. Yellowtail's character was shaped by those traditional elders, and he often said that it is those same traditional spiritual values which should be at the center of our lives today. In contrast, the United States government tried to crush the Indians' ancestral traditions. Various laws prohibited many traditional ceremonies, such as the Sundance, for almost 50 years. During this same time, the reservation children, including Yellowtail, were taken from their homes and forced into government boarding schools. At those boarding schools, the children were forbidden to speak their own language, had to wear white man's clothing, and cut their hair. Simultaneously, almost every Christian denomination opened churches on or near the reservations and actively tried to convert the Indians away from their own traditions. On the Crow Reservation, each family was arbitrarily assigned to become a member of one of the churches. Adult life and extended family. Thomas Yellowtail married Susie Walking Bay of the Crow tribe on April 27, 1929. Susie was a tireless advocate of Native American issues and is already enshrined in the Montana Hall of Fame in Helena, Montana. Susie was a steady companion and constant support to Yellowtail in his years of sacrifice and struggle to help his people until her death in 1981. Historically, the Yellowtail family is the most famous Crow family of the 20th century. His older brother, Robert Yellowtail, was the first Native American superintendent of a reservation and was selected as Commissioner of Indian Affairs by President Dwight D. Eisenhower, and although he declined the appointment, Yellowtail Dam and Yellowtail Reservoir in Montana are named after him. Return of the Sundance to the Crow tribe. The Crow tribe did not perform their ancestral Sundance during the 50-year prohibition by the U.S. government. When the Sundance became legal again in 1934, the original Crow Sundance was a forgotten memory and could not be resurrected. The Shoshone tribe had periodically performed their ancestral Sundance during the Prohibition without the knowledge of the bureaucracy in Washington. When the Prohibition ended, John Trujillo, a Shoshone medicine man, emerged as the preeminent Shoshone Sundance chief. The Crow tribe asked John Trujillo to help them lead a Sundance on the Crow Reservation in the early 1940s. This was the beginning of the revival of the Sundance on the Crow Reservation. Starting in 1943, Thomas Yellowtail became a sincere Sundancer, participating in the annual Sundance and monthly prayer meetings. Over the next 20 years, Yellowtail deepened his relationship with the Great Spirit through his daily practice of prayer, purification in the sweat lodge and periodic vision quests. Medicine Man and Sundance Chief. In 1963, John Trujillo informed Yellowtail that his medicine fathers had instructed him to transfer the authority to run the Crow Sundance over to Yellowtail. For the next 30 years, until his death at age 90, Yellowtail served as Crow Sundance chief and helped perpetuate the Crow Sundance religion. At the time of his death in November 1993, Thomas Yellowtail was one of the most respected and revered Sundance chiefs and medicine men of the Crow tribe. Preserving the old ways. Yellowtail wanted every American Indian to learn about the spiritual traditions of their ancestors. While many of those traditions have been lost, Yellowtail believed that what remains is sufficient to constitute a valid spiritual path, what he called the Sundance religion. Yellowtail counseled the Native Americans who sought his guidance to follow the way of the Vision Quest, Sweat Lodge, and daily prayer with the pipe under the guidance of a legitimate Sundance chief. He encouraged American Indian youth to learn the language of the tribe and to seek out the spiritual leaders who followed the traditional ceremonies of the people. Thomas Yellowtail wrote his autobiography as a means of preserving the ancient spiritual traditions he held sacred for future generations. Thomas Yellowtail was a member of that pivotal generation that made the wrenching cultural transition into a new and bewildering world. While never forgetting the old ways, he, and many others across the Plains tribes, held fast to the spiritual legacy of their ancestors, ensuring that the ways of his grandfathers would not be lost. Bibliography. Yellowtail Crow Medicine Man and Sundance Chief, an autobiography as told to Michael Oren Fitzgerald, University of Oklahoma Press, 1991. ISBN 0806126027. Native Spirit and the Sundance Way, by Thomas Yellowtail. World Wisdom 2007. Film. Native Spirit and the Sundance Way, DVD documentary based on the memoirs of Thomas Yellowtail, 2007. World Wisdom. Resource materials. Companion book to Native Spirit and the Sundance DVD.